Hey everybody, it's Greg and welcome back to the Stealth Project. As you see, things in the garage look a little different now. I've gone ahead and turned the car around in preparation to start working on some of the body work and start working on the paint of the actual frame itself. I've already gone ahead and pulled the hatch off, driver's side door's been taken off, started getting all the panels cleared out, basically any of the exterior accessories that needed to come off to get prepped for paint. So the next plan of attack now is to get things washed down and then start doing on some sanding. Not gonna do an entire video of me sanding. I'll do some time-lapse stuff on that, speed everything up, but there's gonna be a lot of sanding done on this. There's not too much actual body work that needs to be done because last time I painted this, I took care of a lot of it. There are a few little things I need to take care of. For some reason on both the inside door jambs, back where the latch is, there's a couple holes drilled there. I don't know why. They were there when I got the frame itself. So I'm gonna get those filled in. I'm also going to take care of the antenna hole. I don't run an antenna. I don't use the antenna for the car stereo. I never have. I've just had a fake plastic antenna sitting in there for a while now, never been hooked up. So we're just going to get rid of it. I'm just going to cut out a piece of metal, slap it on the backside, weld it in, fill it, and then we'll finish it off with some body filler and some primer. So for now, I'm going to finish up getting what little pieces I have left, do a whole walk around the car, make sure everything's taken care of. Then we're going to go ahead and start working on washing it down because we got a little dirt, we got a little dust from it being sitting in here. We'll get all the stuff washed off, and then we'll go ahead and make it dirty again as we're sanding it off. But I want to get all the dirt and everything washed off to make sure that I'm not seeing any paints, paint peel or scratches or whatnot that have to be sanded out thoroughly. So we'll get it down to fresh, clean. Then we'll start working on the sanding. Hey everyone, so we're going to get started with the body work here and start off particularly with the antenna hole that I'm going to fill in. I'm not going to fill this with Bond, I'm going to do this the right way. So what I've done here is just a piece of paper, traced out the size of the hole. I'm going to cut this out. I'll go ahead and cut this, basically this plug out on a piece of probably 18 gauge, 22 gauge steel sheet metal. And then what we'll do is we'll fit it in here so it's a perfect fit in here with just like a like a 1 millimeter gap all the way around. And then what we'll take is we'll take a magnet, we'll hold the piece in there, we'll tack a little couple welds on here to hold it in place. Then we'll finish just tack welding all the way around, grind it down smooth, and then finish off the bodywork prep on that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this right now, getting the pattern cut out, getting the sheet metal cut out, and then go from there. got the rear antenna hole all welded up. A few little pits in there from welding, but no big deal. I'm still going to hit it up with a little bit of some body filler to smooth it all out, and then hit it with some primer. I got some etch primer coming in, should be here in the next couple days. Finish off these raw spots for me welding and grinding out. Next spots I'm going to work on are these ones here in the door jambs. I have no clue what these are here for. I'm thinking possibly dentless, paintless dent repair, whatever you want to call it, PDR. So I'm thinking because this outer skin is separate from this inner skin here, you can feel it right there. So I'm assuming they just drilled some holes in here to put some rods in or whatever, pop some dents out. I got them on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these here welded up. I'm not gonna be using back plugs like I did on the antenna hole. These holes are a little too small, so I'll just be doing a light fill. Just basically keep stacking tacks on top of each other until it's completely filled in. Then we'll go ahead and grind it and smooth it down like we did in the other ones. The last place I gotta do is this gray area back here, mainly this spot right here. I don't know how well you can see it, but we got some rust here, and this seam here is where the gasket goes to for the rear hatch. And I cleaned up the rust and ground it all down and coated it the last time I painted the car, but I want to rebuild this seam here. So I'm going to cut out this all jagged area right here. Basically just cut a piece of strip of sheet metal like I did with the antenna hole, and just tack weld it back into place, smooth it all back out, so I've got a full piece there. That's the only rust I've seen, just this one spot here. Everything else looks good on the car, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock this stuff out real fast. So I went ahead and I finished up all the welding that I needed to do on the car. I've gone ahead and taped up the windshield, side windows, stuff like that. Plastic cloth over the engine bay to keep the dust and everything out. I've got the moving blankets all down inside just to try to keep all the sanding dust and everything out as much as I can. I've got self-etching primer on the spots that I welded and grinded down, smoothed out. That's been all dried. So what I'm going to do now is apply some little bit of light body filler in there, just to smooth out all the little imperfections, pinholes and stuff like that, and then we'll get that nice and leveled down. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that now, and then when I finish with that, I'm going to start working on doing some sanding on the entire back end of the car. It's probably going to take the longest bill of sanding, so I'll get as much recording as I can, but it's probably going to be a lot of boring, so don't expect too much footage of me sanding for hours on it. So. So I'm working on the body now, and we got the antenna hole here all filled up, and now we're working on just getting the rest of the lines on the car smoothed out. If you see down here, when I was doing some block sanding, I got these nice little shiny spots compared to the dull spots. Well, block sanding will pick up your low and high spots. So what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to get some body filler in here, fill in these low spots in, and smooth this back out. The rest of the body panel looks fine from what I can see. It's just this rear end back here. There was some previous dents in here that I do know of. I already had to fill one in, probably around this area over here a while back. So we're just going to go ahead and do a light coat of body filler on here and get this just block sanded back out nice and smooth, so we don't have to worry about these humps anymore. I don't think they'll show up too bad if we left them alone, but I'm just going to take care of them off hands though. So update time, where we're at right now is I got the rear quarter panel has been primered over. It's completely sanded, flattened out and all that. I know I said I wasn't going to prime or anything, but I'm not primering it in a conventional sense. Primering it not for the adhesion, primering it to fill in all the sanding lines and stuff like that from sanding. Since this did have a one-stage enamel on it before, the paint is kind of hard on it. So trying to get it completely smoothed down to like a 600 grit is about impossible. I would be here for days upon days. So what I do is I use an aerosol spray. It's a U-Pole high fill primer. It's kind of expensive. It's about $25 a can. But it's a 1K primer, so it's really good to use in an application like this. And what I do is I just spot spray it over everything, just real light coat on it, and then I go and hit it with a 600 grit, and that gives me a nice smooth surface to spray on top of, so I don't have to worry about any of the sanding marks or anything like that coming through. So what I did notice though is just hitting this spot alone, I was starting to get some overspray inside the car, even though I've got spots, even though I've got the inside covered up with blankets and everything like that. I still want to keep the overspray out, especially don't want it getting on the inside of the glass. For the rear quarter panels or for the rear quarter glass, and I also don't want it to get on the windshield. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and tape off the car like I'm getting ready for paint. That way I can keep all the overspray out, so I can continuing work on it. Most of the sanding is done. I've got to do the driver's side and passenger side door jambs and door frame assembly. Not too much work to do there. It's just basically just scuffing it up, hit it with a quick primer, smooth it back out. But I do want to go ahead and get the car taped off to keep all the overspray out. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that now, and from there we'll go ahead and finish off the sanding and what primer work we've got left, get it smoothed out, so hopefully we can get it painted here in the next couple days. So I got the whole car primered. Both sides are completed, roof's completed, hatch area is completed. So what we need to do now is we need to go over, we need to smooth out the primer. As I said before, the primer wasn't there. It's just there to fill in the sanding scratches from before when we were doing the body work. So what we're going to do now is I got a 600 grit scratch wrap pads that will go over the entire car with to smooth everything back down. These are really good for getting into nooks and crannies and crevices and stuff like that where it's real hard to get sandpaper in. These also last a lot longer. I really like these pads. So once we get everything sanded down, then we'll pretty much be ready to just do paint. So I'll need to get everything in the garage cleaned up because there's dust all over the place right now. And we'll get as much in the garage as I can, get covered up to keep all the dust down, get the car all wiped down, and we'll get ready to prep for paint. I'm going to go ahead and work on the sanding now because I've got a few hours of sanding to do, and then we'll go from there. So it's paint day, so I've gotten the entire garage all cleaned out. Got as much dust out of here as I can. Washed the floors down. Did final wipe solvent on the car to try to get as much dust off as I can. Sprayed everything out with air, and then went ahead and covered as much as I can in the garage with plastic to keep whatever dust is still sitting there down and keep it from getting stirred up while we're doing the paint. So the only downside today is it got a little chilly overnight. Got down to about 35 degrees last night. So it's about 1 p.m. right now. It's about 55 degrees outside. Still a little bit chilly inside the garage to do painting. But I got a kerosene heater in here. It's blasting, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the temperature as high as I can in the garage. Then we'll shut everything, all the heat sources off. We'll go ahead and paint. Because I've been keeping an eye on the temperature. The temperature on the car right now is about 60 degrees. Still going up as I'm continuing to heat the garage up. So as long as we can keep the car itself, the paint above 60 degrees, we can go ahead and spray without any issues. I don't see it being a problem. It's not supposed to drop down again until later this evening, so I still got a few hours to go. I'm using a fast activator. I switched over from the medium I was using before to a faster activator and reducer. To help with the cold situation we're having lately. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get the car final wipe solvent down again, get whatever dust is left on it. We're going to get some paint mixed up, and we're going to go ahead and get set up and get this car painted.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, but I just want it. I can see myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. See myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. See myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. See myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. Oh baby, if you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive. You're the only pain I can endure. And when you're not here, you're my dream, but I just want it. Yeah, I just wanna. I just want it. I can see myself. I can see myself. I can see myself. See myself.
from the start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arms. The others don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this. Perfect soulmate, I wanna show it my best friend. She took my life, my happy end in hard times.
Oh baby, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself.